Hello and welcome to Psychic Street Smarts. I'm Catherine MacDonald, and to find out more about me, check out www.spiritualcat.com. With me tonight, I have Tim White, and he has been on other incarnations of the show, but he's here tonight and he's going to talk about what he does, and you can find out from him at thesereneway.com.
That's right.
Okay.
You got it.
So, talk about yourself, Tim. It's been good. It's good to see you, and we enjoyed dinner at the Green Onion, and Ted says hello and to the group, and so I was interested in having you on because you've got something new happening. What are you up to?
New. Well, I've just I was at a meeting earlier, a networking meeting, and they had a presentation about publishing. So this leads into where I'm going. And they were talking about the publishing industry, so books and stuff, and what's happening in that industry. The same as newspapers. Newspapers are going out of business, and everybody's going online, by the sounds of it. So what I have done is I have just finished writing my first textbook, I guess you would say. It's a compendium of information for my online Reiki course. So what I've done is created a first level textbook that covers what energy is. I mean, when we talk about Reiki, Reiki is universal energy. So
correct.
It's energy work for people who might not know what that is. So it's working with the energy of the body. And so I've created this textbook and have 4 modules of this book.
Okay.
So the first part is about energy itself and the different kinds of energy that are in our everyday lives. So I talk about the different types of energy and then the energy systems and the energy that's created in our body so that people can understand how that universal energy is something that's part of us, and we're part of it, because any energy that we have within ourselves is radiated out. You know, if it's energy that's created from our digestive process or just cellular metabolism, we generate a heat. So a far infrared heat. So that heat is a radiated energy.
So is that what they were talking about when we were talking about aura? Yes and no.
Yes and no. I mean, there's different aspects to it. I mean, we have this radiated heat, so you can say yes, that's part of our aura. The aura itself is about energy systems, energetic systems, rather than energy systems. So, you know, we have a cardiovascular system that creates an energy based on the work that is involved within the body itself.
Right.
Within that framework of the body itself, we also have our network of nerve channels. So down the spinal column, they branch out and they come into plexi. So they form groups within the body that innervate specific regions of the body. So we have our cardioplexus, which innervates our heart and our lungs. We have solar plexus, which innervates our digestive organs. So we have all of these different ones. The sacral plexus for sexual organs, etc. So we have all of these channels. So even though the nerves themselves, the line of nerves, the pathway, the neural pathways, they're segmented. So there's little breaks or synapses in between each one. So within our body itself, we have all of this empty space that's there as well. So within that, when we talk about the aura, the energetic systems are associated with these plexi, but they're energy systems. So they're not something that you can see. There's pictures. Kirlian photography can take pictures of the aura, which is the different things that go on. So with our nerves, we have these plexi. If we think about the empty space within the body itself, within the trillion cells that make up our body, there's just as much empty space as there are cells. So if we look at that empty space, then energy moves around our bodies at the same time. So we have electromagnetic energy, we have a north and south pole, we have, all of these different energies that are created within the body. So
this is the kind of thing you're sharing in the first part of the book.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I take it so that people understand just what energy is, how it's transmitted, how it works, and functionality. So I talk a little bit about that, and then I go into the actual anatomy of the body, so the physical systems of the body. I have that separated into 7 different systems. of the body.
Yeah.
So we talk about the musculoskeletal system, we talk about the cardiovascular system, we talk about the expellers, so all these different systems so that we can learn to connect to our bodies.
Right.
So in learning to connect to our bodies, we can learn to understand and translate the messages that our bodies are giving us. So that's part of the process. So the textbook covers all of the details of that. And then with the course itself, as it runs over 4 sessions, then within each module of online training, what I do is bring a general idea of that, because you have to do self-study in order to understand a little bit of it, because in a 2.5-hour session we're not going to be able to cover all the information.
Right.
So,
now the other thing that people might question, and I'm curious, is when I took Reiki, it was hands-on. So how the heck do you do that with a teleclass?
well, what I have looked at and what's developed out of my own healing process is that first there was sound. If we look at energies or what creates energy, we have earth, water, fire, air, and then we have ether. So we have these 5 elements.
Right.
So in order for anything to move, in ether starts with movement, which is sound. So in the Bible they say first there was the Word. So I'm using sound for attunements. I'm using quantum energy, energy that affects things at a distance. That's part of a whole new kind of idea within physical science as well, is that we, based on our own thoughts, we can change the cellular structure of our body through thought and through focus and concentration.
Spiritualism has always said thoughts are concrete things. Careful what you think, because it will manifest.
Exactly.
So I think that the spiritual traditions have known that for a long time.
Absolutely.
And we're starting now to see it in science.
Well, it's coming together. What happened historically was that we had spirituality or religion, and religion tried to keep control on everything, on knowledge itself.
Right.
And there was a separation of physical science, if you want to call it that, and spiritualism. And we had to go through that process to separate it so that we could understand one without the other. In any duality, the object or the goal is to bring that into a balance and bring both sides together.
Correct.
So that's kind of the whole process that I went through in bringing this together is, well, I can use sound because sound is energy, and I'm creating a space on the internet so that there's a community as well. So it would be like a meditation session. So a great deal of the online training will be about meditation, learning how to meditate. And people have this idea that meditation is, making the mind blank. That's really difficult. So what I've, through my own training, becoming a registered yoga trainer, my work as a dancer, and
we must say that when you go on the website, folks, you'll see his resume, and too many titles to list, but he can let us know which ones are his favorites, and how do we address you at this point? Because you've studied so many different things.
I'm just Tim.
Just Tim.
Tim. Talk to Tim.
Okay.
And that's, the information that's there is everywhere. Everybody has access to this, and what my intention is to provide information, enough information or a little bit of information about a bunch of different things so that people can experience and follow their own path and find their own way through things. So it's to inspire them, to inspire them
right.
to lead their own path and to find that direction. We can come at things from a very mental, analytical way. So that's why, the textbook is quite detailed. So for the first level, we have a 160-page textbook with all of this information and diagrams and illustration, so that people can learn a little bit about that. Because we live in this physical plane. We live on this planet Earth, and everything around us is physical. So we have to understand our physical selves.
Right.
Understanding that, then we can move forward.